good to get in front of you. proud of this team. They fought. They played a good game. A lot of good things happened for us tonight. They're confidence building, but so much to clean up. But I am proud of these guys. Proud of Johnny, Trent, and the defensive effort in the second half. A lot of good things from this team. And what we have to continue to do is understand that if we play hard, if we don't beat ourselves, there's opportunities for us out there. And this is a game that we should have won. This is a game where we had the opportunity to win big, and you know, guys did that. And that's confidence building, because that's what you have to do. You got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and you know, you got to go surprise some other teams. And I think right now, man, these kids, you know, feel good in that locker room. But they also know that there's a lot to clean up, and I'm just thankful and that these kids played hard tonight. I mean, they get a chance to learn from a win for the first time this season. It's the first win of the season, and it's huge just in terms of the progress and for these guys, the work, the confidence, and what it does in terms of moving us forward. So with that being the case, I'll move it forward.
Derek, so after Johnny kind of feeling the burden the last couple of weeks that he's taken on for the turnovers, how did it feel to kind of congratulate him after a big game like this?
It felt great. It felt great. I really hadn't picked at Johnny. I just tried to make sure, man, that I wrapped my arms around him, and that he understood that he was my quarterback no matter what he was doing. And you know, he made me right. And that's what I mean. Your quarterback's supposed to do. He's supposed to make you right. I'm proud of him. He did a great job of making good decisions. He got rid of the ball fast. You know, he extended plays. He ran when he needed to run. But more than that, he just managed the game in the way the game needed to be managed, and that's what I needed to see from my starting quarterback.
It's kind of slow going at first. What allowed you guys to finally sort of take control of this game?
Again, some parts of tempo. You know, it's funny. Anytime in the weekend, kick it up a notch, sort of kick it into another gear, we sort of get into another tempo, and it establishes rhythm for him and everybody else. And in talking with Andy, I said, let's go, let's kick this thing in a gear, and let's continue to push on the gas. And you know, what you saw was just Johnny just get in rhythm, and everybody else around him just start making plays, and that's what we need to do. I thought Ralph Webb ran the ball hard early in this ball game. He ran hard. I mean, there were runs where, you know, it may have been a 3-yard run, but he was still churning his legs and fighting for yards, and those 3-yard runs turned into 5, 7, 8, and then all of a sudden, with the tempo, we actually started to establish, you know, a good baseline for us to play good football and move the chains.
Is there a point where you looked and said, hey, this McCrary to Sherfield pitch and catch thing is working pretty well for us, or was that the plan going in?
You know, in this offense, the way Andy has put it together, you know, hot guys get the ball. You know, you want to be a playmaker, get hot, do your job, make plays. There's plenty of opportunities in this offense for a lot of guys to get balls. You know, as we've seen the last couple of weeks, we've seen the ball actually get moved around. It just so happens that based on the coverage that they played and based on the matchups, that he just happened to be, you know, the guy on the spot, and 16 catches. What a night.
You said this was a game you guys were supposed to win. With that said, were you bothered by the fact that it took you so long to get in that mode offensively?
Absolutely. I'm bothered by it. I'm bothered by the simple fact that for us, we need to start fast. And I've talked about that. And that's something for us that we're going to continue to work on. But here's what I know. We didn't get it in the first quarter, but we got it in the third quarter. And, you know, that's progress. And that's what you have to look at. You got to look at the progress and what's happening. First quarter's going to come. You know, third quarter came today, and that's what I'm proud of these kids for doing. They played a great second half, and that's what we needed to do. And now what we have to do is get ready, take about 10 hours, enjoy this, and get ready for Ole Miss.
There's been an undeniable objection of how we look in terms of numbers and everything else. When we got the result we deserved because I'm tonight, how do you take that momentum into a team that's going to be a whole other level for next week?
You know what? You just build on that. Listen, a win does a lot for your confidence. You know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. You know, it really does. You know, to quote Mary Poppins.
But you might be the first SEC coach ever to quote Mary
That's
Poppins.
okay. That's okay. Here's what happens though. Every week in this conference, you got to ratchet it up. Listen, this was a game that we were supposed to win, and we won it. and we won it the way we needed to win it. So now what we have to do is get ready to go on the road, pack this defense on the road, pack this offense on the road, play good on special teams, and go into a hostile environment for the first time this year. So that's where our focus will be. And you know what? These guys will be primed and ready to go. Okay, that we got to be about the challenges that present themselves every week in this conference, and that's a good one.
Similarly, then, is Sherfield a better receiver right now, having had a huge day like he had today?
Yeah, I mean, he's a better receiver. We're all better when we have a chance to experience success. What he has to continue to do, which he does every day. You know, I congratulated him 2 days ago after practice because I said he works the hardest out of anybody out there other than Ralph Webb. When you come out to practice, you know it's Trent Sherfield. The dude's running, he's blocking, he's doing all the things that he should do. And you know what? He got his just due today. When you work hard like that, on the other side of hard work, an opportunity is success. And it's just a small taste of what Trent Sherfield can do. Now what Trent's got to do is show he can do it every day, do it every week in the SEC. And you know what? It's a great first step for him, so I'm proud of it.
When Austin Peay scored right there after the pooch kick, how much urgency did you feel to really take control? I
felt urgency. I always do. There's not a series. There's not a time where I'm not trying to coach these dudes across the finish line. Where this coaching staff is not trying to coach these dudes across the finish line. So I mean, if you look at my face, and you can always tell there's a sense of urgency on my face. I mean, I hate to give up yards. I hate to give up points. And you know, for us, this defense is starting to take on the same personality. They hate to give up yards. They hate to give up points, and that's got to be the expectation.
Derek, in the situation where I think Trent had the record tied for a bit,
right?
And you got him that one catch to get him the record. Is that a situation where somebody says, "Hey, we've got a player that's near a milestone," and you leave him in to get one more catch, or did it just kind of go that way?
I knew, and I wanted him to have the record. I wanted him to have the catch. You know what? He's worked hard. Like I said, you reward guys for the work that they do. That's just what I believe. And so I talked to Cortez Hankton. Said, Cortez, keep him in. Let's play. Man, let's just keep doing what we're doing. And when he got the catch, got him out of the game. And you know, continue to move forward and give other guys opportunities. But when there's records to be broken, why settle for second when first is available?
And Coach, he was one of your first recruits, right?
Yes.
When he came in, if I remember, he was like a quarterback and a defensive back in high school.
Right.
What did you see in him when he came? It's like, hey, he can be one of our playmaker guys.
He was just explosive. From the day when he stepped on the football field, you saw the speed, you saw the agility, and at his size, he's just strong. I mean, he's a guy who's wiry strong. So for him, it's been a growth process. I mean, I've been talking about Trent Sherfield for a year.
Okay.
He's just finally coming to his own, and now what we have to continue to do, and there's a lot of guys on this football team that are getting ready to come into their own because we're young. But, you know, Trent, it was Trent's day. So now what he's got to do is put good work on top of good work.
At what point did you feel like Johnny had gotten enough work then and there wasn't going to be any more benefit to keeping him out there and building his confidence anymore?
It wasn't about Johnny as much as it was about seeing Freeback. I'll be honest with you. You have quarterbacks on this roster. We want to develop quarterbacks, in this program, and we have to see what those guys can do. So for me, it was about seeing what Freeback can do, putting him in situations where he can try to manage the game and see, what he does. Because he played a year ago, but he was a true freshman, and with that, he was somewhat of a deer in the headlights. Tonight, man, he showed some poise. He made some mistakes, but that's part of playing football in this conference. You play games for the first time, you make some mistakes, but you come back, you watch yourself, and you get better.
You can do that throughout the lineup then too? You got to look at a lot of young guys, I would think, on both sides of the ball?
I did. I played a lot of young guys. I played some true freshmen. You saw Hockaday, you saw Josh Griffith, you saw Josh Smith. We're gonna get guys on the field and we're gonna play them, because in this conference you have to make sure, man, that these guys are not just playing special teams. With the tempo offenses in this conference, you really got to make sure that you put these guys on notice that and you're one play away. And so with that, we're just going to get them on the field and let them play.
Ideally, would you have gotten Freeback in sooner than you did?
Not really. I almost thought about keeping Johnny in longer. But what it came down to was that, and I talked to Andy, and we agreed that at that point in time, we just needed to go ahead and get Freeback in. I wanted Johnny to feel the rhythm. I wanted Johnny to feel, what it's like, to try to put somebody away and just continue, to gain rhythm. Because you know what, you can never get the killer instinct. Okay, if you're never put in that position to do it. And I thought Johnny did that tonight. He made good throw after good throw, good decision after good decision, and that got us through.
That's the last question, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.